Present our plan to you today. You mentioned that you wish you had a magic wand. Well, like every great wizard, every great leader needs the right wand to channel their team. Right now, your team is facing challenges that are holding them back. Lack of engagement, commitment, relationship challenges, and they're all leading to missed opportunities for growth. Let me introduce our implementation wizards to you. We've got Rich, Jeff, Gary, Linda, and I'm Candy. At Ollivander Consulting, we really specialize in transforming teams from scattered apprentices into a powerful order that's going to help you build that high-performing team that's ready to take on any challenge. Let's dive in.
So Joe, when we evaluated your video, we identified that there are three main challenges that we need to work through to help the Forest Group. First, there's an absence of trust, and this is creating unhealthy conflict and a lack of commitment and accountability towards the company goals, which is ultimately causing and resulting in limited growth and declining profits for your company.
Joe, the overview of our solution starts with cultivating a company culture based on trust, engaging your team in healthy conflict, receiving commitment through your clarifying vision and purpose, empowering your people, establishing effective norms and engagement in meetings, having the courage to take accountability for your team as a leader and encourage peer-to-peer accountability, as well as reconstructing your reward system from individual rewards to team rewards. And Joe, for you, our plan includes five strong bullet points. Starts with personal executive coaching, inspiring a vision and purpose, a commitment to becoming a care to lead leader, learning and instilling accountability for yourself as well as your team, creating a team-based reward structure. All right, so Joe, for you, the first step starts with you enrolling in an executive coaching program through MIT Professional Education. Through this, it will strengthen your approach to leadership. It will foster a dynamic culture of innovation and creativity. It will help you develop a vision to lead innovative projects. It will help you and give you access to interact with experts, instructors, and peers. It will provide you with networking opportunities within your field, and it will allow access to supplementary resources to continue your leadership journey.
Joe, in our initial evaluation, we identified there is not a clear and defined vision for the Forest Group. This vision is important in helping you reach your goals and will provide the team with a sense of motivation and help provide a team culture. It gives a purpose the team can rally around. In your video, you noted that you don't really talk about goals much and that your team members only are somewhat aligned to the current goal. Joe, we feel that you need to create a clear and defined goals and objectives for your team at the Forest Group. These goals need to be aligned with your vision and the overall company goals. You also need to utilize objectives to reach these goals, and these objectives should be tracked and the results made visible to the organization. Currently, we see there are no defined objectives that will bring everyone together with a common purpose. All departments are working in silos without a shared target. During our executive coaching sessions, our team will assist you in creating a clear and defined vision statement. And working together with your team, we'll develop a list of defined goals and their associated objectives to help you provide better direction for the Forest Group moving forward. Thank you.
Joe, you mentioned that your team thinks you might talk too much and there might be some decision paralysis in meetings. We're going to help you overcome that through some of the care to lead principles that you read about in the book. You've got to help your employees delegate. You've got to delegate to them, and most of all, empower them. So let's start with empowering. First, we're going to start with the proper training tools. Think the wand selection at Ollivanders. Employees need proper training tools to perform their best. And you're going to do this by equipping yourself with your team with skill building programs, mentorship, technology, so they can cast their own spells. Second, we're going to focus on Dumbledore's guidance, being clear on what empowerment means. Just as Dumbledore didn't give Harry a mission, he provided the wisdom and clarity on what needed to be done. Next, we're going to create a safe environment. Think protection of Hogwarts. A wizard can't perform magic under stress, and neither can your employees. So you've got to really foster a workplace culture that has that psychological safety where employees feel confident to take initiative. And then fourth, think the house cup. You are the leader. You need to support, encourage, and praise your employees. Celebrate wins and create an atmosphere where praise fuels the motivation and growth.
Joe, we know you prefer to avoid conflicts and one-on-one interactions, but engaging in discussions with your team is essential. Even Dumbledore held individual sessions with Harry Potter to support his success. Embracing healthy conflict is key to a team's effectiveness, and we will help you incorporate it in your meetings. Using effective communication strategies, team members can initiate dialogue through active listening and empathy, reducing defensiveness and resolving issues quickly without needing the team leader's intervention. This approach not only saves time, but also builds stronger relationships by fostering mutual respect and accountability. With proper support from leadership, teams can learn to manage conflicts constructively and take ownership of their responsibilities. Ultimately, this empowers teams to achieve their goals more effectively, leading to a state of nirvana. Thank you.
So after instilling accountability, Joe, we find it favorable for you to restructure your reward system from individual to team rewards. Just like how Hogwarts motivates their individual houses with team rewards, we feel it would be in your best interest to unite your team. We find that this will be effective because it removes the possibility of alienating employees further from each other and allows your employees to see that you do not have any bias towards them. As an example, both Sawyer and Abigail received praise and reward from you, while other employees most likely felt that those specific performance metrics were out of their control. Therefore, by moving to team-based rewards, you can more closely align individual team member goals to the company goals. This, in turn, produces buy-in and generates even more accountability because team members will feel confident and comfortable calling each other out. Team rewards will also incentivize collaboration, peer-to-peer accountability, and commitment, as department heads will be more likely to work closer together when they share similar goals. Back to you guys.
Joe, along with your plan, we also put together a plan for your team. These are steps to help your team get better and to be more of a team building exercise. First is, of course, team building. Second, senior leadership retreat. Third, a weekly all leader meetings. Fourth, monthly training. And fifth, team buy-in for rewards. So, Joe, we have identified a clear lack of trust with your team, especially between the product specialist and the senior agency facilitators, which is causing unhealthy conflict and poor communication throughout the company. To address this, we are recommending the following steps be taken. First, we need to conduct a team effectiveness exercise to evaluate how well the team members work together and identify areas of unhealthy conflict. Second, we need to conduct team building exercises. To build relationships is the basis of trust, especially with these team building exercises need to be led by you. In addition, to build better trust, we feel your group meetings should occur more frequently than once a month and include your team members, all of them, including the remote workers. Third, we need to establish team norms to help set rules and address communication and conflict issues to help your team members start engaging in more healthy communication. Additional tools will be introduced during our executive coaching, including personality assessments and utilizing the personal history tool. Our group feels that the key to team building is a focus on developing vulnerability-based trust, which will provide a psychological safe workplace and bring your entire team together. Thank you.
Joe, next we're going to take that positivity that Rich talked about that comes from those team building activities. And just like Catherine did in the 5 Dysfunctions book that you read, we suggest more organization to your strategic retreat this year. Rather than focus on strategy, we're going to start from the bottom of the pyramid. And this will require the team to get vulnerable and engage in some healthy conflict activities that will be the baseline for future meetings moving forward. This is really important because your team right now is not engaged. You have resentment on your team coming from all angles. For example, Sawyer being a remote worker versus your in-office workers, Jill getting that conflict all the way around within the entire organization, and even from Juan, Abigail, and Doug. So it's really important that your leaders come together to set positive conditions for their departments. Here's a sample of agenda of what that retreat will look like.
Joe, in the Harry Potter universe, individuals are sorted into different houses, and similarly, you have been organized into different teams. We will have weekly meetings and video conferences, which will focus on accountability and efficient communication to improve performance. Effective discussions are vital for enhancing processes and addressing negativity. Team members should raise concerns with proposed solutions. Joe, you will appoint a mediator to handle conflicts, someone who demonstrates courage, confidence, and impartiality. Our goal is to coach Joe to encourage constructive disagreements, fostering a productive environment, and promoting individual and collective responsibility. Additionally, a scoreboard will be introduced to Joe for performance assessment, with further details to be provided in later training sessions. These topics will be thoroughly discussed in weekly meetings to ensure compliance at all levels. Thank you.
Joe, our team will also provide you with monthly facilitated training, and this will include assessment of team dynamics, building trust, encouraging healthy conflict, fostering commitment, enhancing accountability, focusing on results, and continuous improvement throughout your entire team.
So, Joe, when it comes to building a foundation of trust in this company, there are a few things important as having team buy-in. In Harry Potter, members of the Order of the Phoenix were able to buy into Harry and Dumbledore because of the type of leaders they were and the culture they produce. We feel that there are 3 ways you can do this. First, you're going to need to establish effective team norms, like Rich mentioned, with your team. Second, you're going to need to become a listen first, lead second leader. This means that you need to be mindful and attentive to everyone that comes to talk to you and is talking during the meetings. And lastly, you need to have the willingness to hear out all ideas. There's a good chance that some members of your team might be able to produce an even greater team reward that is better for everyone. Always have the willingness to listen, and when you do, members of your team will be more likely to buy into your ideas. So, Joe, this is what we feel like. If you take anything away from this presentation, we want you to have this thematic goal. This product provides clear direction, and it's a rally cry for your team. It's simple, it's time-bound, and this is the example we have for you. Establish an unbreakable bond of trust. We feel it's so vital to your team's success that we want you to make it your #1 goal that every member has strong trust with each other. Back to you guys.
Joe, we're going to help you to foster relationships with each other in teams and with partners, and establish clear team goals that align with company objectives of software completion. Doing this fosters a culture of trust, vulnerability, and strong interpersonal relationships within teams. It not only enhances collaboration and engagement, but also creates a resilient, adaptive team capable of achieving both immediate and long-term goals aligned with the company's objectives. Thank you.
We're going to take those company objectives, Joe, and create a fun scoreboard for you. Think the House Cup. We're going to take those defining objectives that were mentioned. A couple of those are number of meetings with healthy conflict. We think that's going to be really important to track for you because that's going to build that trust. Your software completion, that's going to give trust in all of your sales team and and your agencies to really buy into what you're providing. And then focusing on your standard objectives. You mentioned that profit is your number one priority. Well, team policies written and the number of businesses acquired, we're going to track that for everybody to see. So it will give everybody the accountability they need to move forward.
Joe, in closing, our proposal is structured. It is interactive and ongoing, allowing both you and your team to practice new behaviors in real time while receiving support and guidance. By addressing each of the 5 dysfunctions systematically and incorporating Do You Care to Lead tools, the team can improve its collaboration and move toward becoming a high-performing team focusing on results. Additionally, fostering an environment of continuous learning and adaptation will help sustain the improvements made during the training and transition period. Joe, you asked for a magic wand, so here it is. On behalf of Ollivander Consulting, we thank you for your time.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.